It was 3:42 in the morning when I woke up. I heard a noise downstairs. I didn't think it was a burglar, but I got up to check anyway. I was walking down the stairs when I saw him, a man wearing a mask, stealing my television. I froze. He saw me too and ran. We fought, struggled on the stairs, and fell. My head hit something hard. Everything went dark. When I woke up, I was in an ambulance. I couldn't feel my legs, nothing. And I thought, am I paralyzed? This story is about that night, how the paramedic saved me, and why I'm still alive today. At 3:48 a.m., the alarm went off. Dispatch said, "Home invasion, 1547 Oak Drive, victim unconscious, police en route." We jumped up immediately, ran to the ambulance. Mike was driving, I was in the back. Siren on, speeding through the empty streets. It took 8 minutes to get there. When we arrived, a woman was standing outside, crying. She said, "My husband fought the intruder. He fell down the stairs. There's blood everywhere." We ran inside. The first thing I saw was chaos. Everything was overturned. The TV on the floor, glass shattered. I looked toward the stairs, blood on the steps, and at the bottom, a man was lying face down, motionless. I ran to him, dropped to my knees. He was young, maybe mid-30s, his hair soaked in blood. There was a deep wound on the back of his head, blood still flowing. His neck was twisted to the side, bad position. He must have fallen hard down the stairs. "Hey, can you hear me?" I said, touching his shoulder. No response. Eyes closed, no movement. Police came in behind us, asked, "Is it clear?" I said, "The suspect's gone." Mike brought the cervical collar, the C collar. We put it on carefully, stabilizing his neck. I checked his pulse, weak but there, 95 beats per minute. Breathing irregular, shallow but present. "What's the GCS?" Mike asked. I checked, 3, the lowest possible score, deep coma. I pulled out my penlight, checked his pupils. Right pupil was blown, 6 millimeters, no reaction to light. Left pupil smaller, about 3 millimeters, slow response. Unequal pupils. His brain was bleeding, pressure was rising, and time was running out. When I saw that man, my first thought was Sarah. She was upstairs, asleep. If I ran, he might go up there. He might hurt her, so I couldn't run. I looked around for something, anything to defend myself. My eyes scanned the room. I saw an umbrella in the corner, a metal one. I grabbed it and shouted, "Get out! Get out of my house!" My voice was shaking, but it was loud. The man turned toward me. He was wearing a mask, black, only his eyes were visible. And those eyes, there was no fear in them, only anger. He charged at me. I lifted the umbrella, swung it, hit his shoulder. It made a sharp metal sound, a loud thunk, but he didn't stop. He only staggered. Then he grabbed the umbrella, ripped it out of my hands. He was strong, incredibly strong, and threw it down the stairs. Then came his fist. A right hook. It hit my jaw, hard. The pain exploded and I tasted blood. I stumbled backward on the stairs, caught myself on the railing. He came at me again, ready to hit, and I threw a punch. My left hand, untrained, desperate. I'd never hit anyone in my life, but I did it. I think I caught his nose because he grunted, head snapping back. That's when I saw my chance. I pushed him, both hands on his chest. He stumbled backward but grabbed me, his hand clutching my jacket. We both lost balance. I grabbed his arm, he grabbed mine. We were locked together, struggling on the stairs. My foot slipped. Something under me, maybe the rug, maybe blood. I don't know. But I slipped. I went backward and he came with me. We were still holding each other, fighting, falling. My back hit the stairs. 1, 2, 3 steps. I was tumbling down. He fell too, landing on top of me, heavy, crushing me. We rolled together, spinning, everything spinning. Then my head hit something. Something hard. Maybe the edge of a step, maybe the wall, maybe the corner of a stair. It hit so hard it felt like my skull cracked open. My brain rattled inside. The pain was indescribable. I heard a sound, a crack inside my head, and then everything slowed down. Time slowed. The man got up. He ran. I saw his feet, heard the door, and then he was gone. I couldn't move. I just lay there. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my arms. only the pain in my head, burning, throbbing, and the warmth under me. Something wet beneath my head. Blood. So much blood. And I thought, this is it. This is where I die. At the bottom of the stairs, I thought of Sarah. She was upstairs, asleep, unaware, safe for now. I couldn't warn her. I couldn't say goodbye. I didn't even see her one last time. My eyes grew heavy. Slowly they closed. Darkness came. Complete darkness. And then nothing. Just silence. "We need a backboard," I said. "Spinal immobilization." Mike brought it and placed it on the floor. We performed a log roll. I held his head, keeping it stable, while Mike turned the body. We slid the board underneath, rolled him back, and secured him. Straps across the forehead, chest, pelvis, legs, no movement anywhere. I placed an oxygen mask over his face, 100% oxygen. The woman ran toward us, crying. "Is he alive?" she asked, voice shaking. "He's breathing. We're taking him to the hospital," I said. "He tried to protect us," she whispered. "Your husband was brave," I told her. We loaded him into the ambulance. The doors shut. The siren started, and we moved. 10 minutes to the nearest trauma center. I connected him to the monitor, electrodes on his chest, pulse oximeter on his finger, blood pressure cuff on his arm. The screen lit up. Heart rate 105. Oxygen 86, low. Blood pressure 145/88, high. Cushing reflex. His brain was swelling. I started an IV on his left arm, found a vein, inserted the needle, advanced the catheter, attached the saline bag. Slow drip. I checked his head again. Mike was holding pressure with gauze, but it was soaked through. I replaced it, pressed hard, tighter this time. The bleeding slowed, but it didn't stop. I heard voices, muffled like I was underwater. Someone was saying numbers. 86, 105. I didn't know what they meant, but I knew it was bad. Things were bad. I tried to move. I wanted to ask, "Where's Sarah?" But my mouth wouldn't open. I couldn't speak. I just lay there, just waited, and I thought, am I dying? Is this it? I was scared, but also tired. My eyes closed. Darkness came. The ambulance made a sharp turn, and the equipment slid across the floor. I looked at David. Heart rate 108, oxygen 88, still low. Blood pressure 150/92, climbing higher. Not good. His brain was bleeding, swelling. Then David moved, his right arm flexed. For a second I thought it was a seizure, but it stopped. It wasn't. Decorticate posturing. His arm bent toward his chest, a sign of severe brain injury. The cortex wasn't working. "How long?" I shouted to Mike. 5 minutes, he yelled. "Faster," I said. "He's deteriorating." I checked his breathing. 12 breaths per minute, irregular, sometimes deep, sometimes shallow. Cheney-Stokes, the pattern that comes before death. David was young. He'd just tried to protect his family, and now he was dying. 3 minutes later, he moved again. His legs straightened, stiffened, locked. A spasm. Extensor posturing. Worse. Pressure on the brainstem. Herniation starting. "Shit," I muttered. That's the final stage. Once the brain herniates, it dies. 2 minutes, I shouted to Mike. I checked his pupils again. Both blown, 7 millimeters, no light reaction, blown pupils. The brain was dying. Come on, I said, my voice shaking. A minute later, the ambulance stopped. The doors opened. The hospital. The trauma team was already waiting. We pulled out the stretcher and ran inside. We rushed into the trauma room. Dr. Martinez was already there. Neurosurgery. "What do we have?" she asked. 35-year-old male, I said. Home invasion, physical struggle, fell down the stairs, severe head trauma, GCS3, pupils bilaterally dilated, no light reflex. Posturing. First decorticate, then extensor. Vitals, heart rate 112, oxygen 88%, blood pressure 155/95. Cushing's triad positive, possible herniation. Dr. Martinez checked his pupils with a light. Damn. she said. Likely herniation. He needs a CT immediately, then the OR decompressive craniectomy right now. She turned to the nurses. Take him to CT now. Page neurosurgery. Prep the OR. The nurses took David, wheeling him out into the hallway. I stayed behind. My hands were covered in blood. My uniform was soaked. Mike came in and said quietly, "His wife's in the waiting room. She's crying." I looked toward the doors and thought, I brought David in alive. Now it's up to the surgeons. The next day I called the hospital and spoke with Dr. Martinez. "We operated on David," she said. "Massive subdural hematoma. We opened the skull and evacuated the bleed, but herniation had already started. The temporal lobe was damaged. We don't know how much function he'll regain." "Will he survive?" I asked. "The next 72 hours are critical," she said. "If there's no infection, he has a chance. But it's too early to say how much recovery he'll have." A week later, I called again. The nurse said, "David woke up. He's out of the coma. He can talk, but his left side is weak. His left arm doesn't move fully yet. Physical therapy has started." I felt relief. He was alive. 2 weeks later, I visited. He was in the rehab room, trying to walk. When he saw me, he said, "You're the paramedic." "You saved me," I told him. "You fought hard." He said, "I don't remember much. Just the guy, the fight. And then nothing." It's been 3 months. I'm still in the hospital, in the rehabilitation center. Every day it's physical therapy, speech therapy. My left side is still weak. My left arm doesn't move fully, and I limp when I walk. The doctors say, "You're lucky. You're alive." Most people don't survive this kind of damage, but sometimes I wonder, am I really lucky? I tried to protect my home, to protect my family, and the cost was high. Maybe I should have run. Maybe I should have hidden. Maybe the television wasn't worth a life. But I didn't think in that moment. I just acted. Instinct. The instinct to protect. And it almost killed me. Sarah, my wife, comes every day. She holds my hand. Sometimes she cries. I tell her, "It wasn't your fault. It was his," but she blames herself. "If I had called 911 sooner, if I had stopped you," she says. They found the intruder a week later. The police caught him breaking into another house. He's in jail now, facing 10 to 15 years. But what does that give me back? I still can't walk right. I still can't speak perfectly. Some words slip away. Some memories are gone. The doctors say maybe another year. Maybe I'll fully recover. Maybe not. But I'm alive. That's what matters. They're right. I'm alive. My family's still with me. Sarah's still with me. But my life has changed. I can't sleep at night. Every little sound wakes me up. I think again? Another intruder? I installed an alarm system, cameras, motion sensors, but I'm still scared. I thanked the paramedics, Jake and Mike, when I saw them at the hospital. "You saved me," I said. "I was dying, and you brought me back." Jake said, "You fought." "We just helped, but I know the truth. If they hadn't come, if they hadn't done everything right, I wouldn't be here now. Now, 3 months later, I'm slowly recovering, slowly coming back to life. But I'll never be the same. That night taught me something. Life is fragile. Everything can change in a second. And sometimes being a hero comes with a heavy price. But if I were in that same moment again, would I do it the same way? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. But that night, in that moment, there was no choice. I just acted. And I survived. Barely.